Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to destroy the High Priestess in Windrose. Anyways, let's get right into it with attacks. The first attack is nothing special with a simple swipe, sometimes followed up with a second from the other arm. More often than not, she'll end this combo with a red dash attack. Sometimes she can get a little weird and cancel her swipe attack and do a down fist, or she'll add it as the third one. She can also lick you with her tongue. That shit's hard to dodge, watch out. If you sit too close, she'll slam her gullet on the ground for an AoE, and she'll open her face sometimes to shoot acid. Alternatively, if you favor her side more than her front, she will roll onto you, or attempt to at least, but with a properly timed dodge you can avoid this. And if she catches near her butt, she'll either do a giant jump attack for an AoE, or she will do a red spin attack, both of which can be dodged with a properly timed input, of course. And for a strange attack to look out for, she will sometimes do the 2-hit combo, but add a quick third hit that's like extra fast at the end for some reason. Now, when she's below half health, randomly she will enter an enraged state, shown by these red particles. In this state, at least on Storm's Edge difficulty, she will one-shot you with any attack. This isn't guaranteed, of course, but with my testing, I was at around 45 to 50 vitality, and she was still one-shotting me, so I just recommend dodging, as I've shown throughout the fight. And you may be curious as to why I'm not parrying in this fight at all, and that's because you still take a shitload of damage, even when you successfully parry, so just dodge. Anyways, onto the build portion. Okay, so build-wise for the High Priestess, we are going to be, or at least what I was rocking to absolutely destroy this boss, was the entire Privateer set. As you can see, everything's going to be level 15 just because that's the highest level you can get the gear. And the reason we're using this is because that crit hit chance and that critical damage is pretty good. Obviously, you don't get the full effects of Privateer's Regalia because it's just one boss, but we like crit damage around here. Secondly, accessories, we have the Major Necklace of Precision at 15 so that I can invest less stat points in it, and the Major Cutthroat Ring, which just increases critical damage by 30%. So, as you can see, we're obviously going for a critical hit and critical damage sort of build because you pretty much get guaranteed crits when she's stunned, which is super amazing. And this is the stat lineup with no buffs. We have 20 Vitality, 20 Mastery, and 20 Precision. And then food buffs, anything Vitality, or no, actually, not anything Vitality. Specifically for this boss, I would just say coffee, in all honesty, and like you can do another Vitality food if you want, like fish and toast stones, I don't know what that is, or seafood platter, but I wouldn't go full Vitality because in her second phase, as I had stated, the red mode, or whatever, the anger mode, or whatnot, she just one-shots you. At least in Storm's Edge, she has one-shot me with 45 Vitality, so I don't know what the cutoff is, but I wouldn't even bother trying to not get one shot at that point. I would just focus on damage and dodging. And now as for weapons, I'm sure you're all familiar with the Rapier of Devastation, and the Plague Pistol is just like for shits and giggles. You can use a blunderbuss if you want, but the main focus is the Rapier of Devastation. Effectively, the reason this weapon is so good compared to every other Plague weapon is because it can critical hit. Now, as you can see, you apply up to 8 Plague Marks, and heavy attacking consumes all those marks, which deals bonus damage for each that's there, and if it consumes more than 5, you restore a bunch of health. That's overpowered, right? You have guaranteed healing without the use of potions. Obviously, it's a little slower, and you need to use your weapon, but this thing is so disgustingly good, as I will show you in my fight with the High Priestess. I was hitting crits for like 7,000 damage, and you hit pretty much a guaranteed double crit if you think about it, because the heavy attack with rapiers, if you're unfamiliar, it's 2 hits in 1, 2. So that's around 14,000 damage in a single, like, hit, if you will. So, yeah. And then, obviously, the Infused Elixir of Concentration for more critical hit damage. That is just an absolute must if you're going to be running a build like this. And then bullets are definitely a need for the stunning, but it doesn't really matter what bullets. You could honestly use stone bullets if you want. I just used iron bullets because, like, a flex and, you know, any amount of extra damage is good. Anyways, onto the actual fight. So here's my winning attempt, solo, for everyone that was upset with me with Israel Hands being a duo fight. This was a solo fight, and this was on Storm's Edge, the hardest difficulty. So as you'll notice, for strategy, I'm sort of unlocking on and locking on as the fight progresses so I can destroy these pustules because they force her to stun. And this is the fat damage I was talking about. You get your stacks to 8, and then you heavy attack, and boom. Just like that, she's getting chunked. As for actual strategy, I would recommend staying on her left because it's just easy to dodge, and you don't have to actually dodge the second hand strike. You can just sort of strafe it, like I will here. But other than that, just stay on our left and hit those pustules. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you easily defeat the High Priestess in Windrose. This took me about 30 attempts, so again, still a very difficult boss, and getting used to not parrying, dodging. But yeah, I hope this guide was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.